Far below the bright, shimmering surface of the ocean lies a place most humans will never see. It is not loud, it does not crash or roar like waves breaking against the shore. It does not echo with the sounds of life we recognize. Instead, it is silent, heavy, and crushing. A world buried beneath immense depths of water, sealed away from sunlight, warmth, and almost everything familiar to human experience. As we descend into this darkness, light weakens inch by inch, fading until it disappears completely. The cold tightens its grip, sinking into every molecule. Pressure builds relentlessly, rising to levels strong enough to bend steel and collapse machines designed to explore it. In this frozen, lightless environment, life does not simply continue as it does near the surface. It is forced to change, sometimes in ways that feel unsettling, even disturbing to the human mind. This deep ocean is not merely a lower level of the sea we know. It does not feel like the same place at all. It feels like another world entirely, hidden beneath our own planet, separated not by distance, but by conditions so extreme that they might as well belong to another universe. A world without sunlight, without seasons, and without mercy. Food is scarce, pressure never relents, darkness never lifts. Nothing here gets a moment of relief. Survival in this environment demands extreme solutions, and failure is final. Over millions of years, life has answered that demand, reshaping bodies, behaviors, and entire ways of living into forms that challenge everything we think life should look like. As we move deeper into the ocean, we pass through invisible layers. There are no physical walls, no clear borders, yet each layer marks a dramatic shift in reality. Temperature drops, light weakens, energy becomes scarce. With every meter downward, survival becomes harder, and mistakes become fatal. Humans have sent probes to Mars, explored distant planets, and studied the edges of the observable universe. We have looked billions of years into the past, yet when it comes to our own oceans, we remain astonishingly ignorant. More than 80% of the deep sea has never been explored. In fact, scientists know more about the surface of the moon than about what exists far below the waves on Earth. The reason for this gap in knowledge is painfully simple. The deep ocean does not welcome visitors. Pressure crushes equipment as if it were made of paper. Darkness blinds cameras and sensors. Cold damages electronics and weakens materials. Each attempt to push deeper ends with broken machines, lost data, and unanswered questions. The deeper we go, the more the ocean reminds us that this environment does not belong to us. It was never meant for human bodies, human tools, or human senses. Near the surface, however, the ocean feels alive and familiar. Sunlight pours into the upper waters, warming them and feeding microscopic organisms called plankton. Though tiny, plankton form the foundation of nearly all ocean life. They are eaten by small fish, which are eaten by larger fish, which are eaten by even larger predators. Massive animals like whales depend entirely on this chain of energy. This upper layer of the ocean is colorful, energetic, and constantly moving. It is the ocean humans have known for centuries, the ocean of sailors, fishing nets, coral reefs, and coastal cities. But this bright, living world is only a thin skin. Beneath it lies something far older, darker, and far more unforgiving. Once we descend beyond roughly 200 meters, sunlight begins to fail. Colors disappear in a predictable sequence. Red light vanishes first, then orange, then yellow. What remains is a dim blue glow that weakens with depth. The water grows colder, shapes blur, distances become impossible to judge. Vision, our most trusted sense, begins to lie. We are leaving the ocean we recognize and entering a realm where sight can no longer be trusted and where survival depends on senses we barely understand. This is the twilight zone. Here, a faint glow still filters down from the surface, but it is not enough to support plant life. No plants grow here. No forests sway in the currents. Photosynthesis stops completely. The plankton blooms that feed the surface world vanish. By all logical rules, life should end here. But it doesn't. Life adapts. In this zone, food does not grow, it falls. Tiny particles of waste, dead organisms, and organic debris slowly drift downward through the water column. Scientists call this process marine snow. It falls continuously, day and night, like a slow-motion blizzard in total silence. To human eyes, it looks insignificant, almost peaceful. But in this dark world, marine snow is everything. It is the main source of energy. Every bite of food comes from above. Survival depends on patience, efficiency, and the ability to wait, sometimes for weeks or even months, for the next meal to arrive. Where food exists, life follows. But life here does not look right to human eyes. Many animals in the twilight zone are almost completely transparent. Their bodies are clear, fragile, and ghost-like, as if they are only half present. A glass squid drifts silently through the water, its organs barely visible, floating like shadows inside glass. A glass octopus hovers in the darkness, its eyes the only solid part of its body, watching without being seen. Transparency allows these animals to vanish in the dim light. In this world, being visible often means being hunted. Scientists are still unsure why transparency is so common at these depths. It may help animals avoid detection. It may reduce energy use, since producing color requires valuable resources. In a place where food is limited, even color can be a liability. In the twilight zone, visibility itself can be deadly. Some creatures choose a different, more unsettling strategy. Instead of hiding from light, they create it. This ability is known as bioluminescence. Through chemical reactions inside their bodies, deep-sea animals generate light, soft glows, sudden flashes, slow pulses that appear and vanish in the darkness. To human eyes, it can seem beautiful, even magical. But in the deep ocean, light is never decoration. It is a tool. Sometimes it is bait. Sometimes it is a warning. Sometimes it is deception. Some animals use light to lure prey closer, drawing victims toward waiting jaws. Others use it to signal potential mates across vast distances of darkness. Some use it to confuse predators or break up the outline of their bodies. And some use light for something even stranger.
They use it to disappear. Predators below can detect shadows created by faint light filtering down from above. To counter this, certain animals produce light on the underside of their bodies. This light matches the brightness of the water above them, erasing their shadow completely. This technique, known as counter-illumination, allows animals to blend into the background by copying the light itself. It is camouflage taken to its extreme. Other species use even more disturbing tricks. Some creatures produce red light. In deep water, red light cannot travel far. To predators, these animals appear completely black, even while glowing. Prey that lights up inside their bodies remains hidden. In the deep sea, survival often depends on controlling what others are able to see and what they are not. The twilight zone is far from quiet. Every night, billions of animals rise towards the surface together. Fish, squid, and jellyfish move upward in vast numbers, feeding under the cover of darkness. When daylight returns, they sink back into the deep. This massive daily movement is called diel-vertical migration. It is the largest movement of life on Earth, larger than all land migrations combined. For decades, humans had no idea this was happening. During World War II, sonar operators detected strange signals rising and falling through the water column. They believed they were seeing the ocean floor itself move. They were wrong. It was life, moving together as one. Below the twilight zone lies the midnight zone. Here, sunlight is completely gone. Darkness is permanent. There is no day, no night, no sunrise. The water hovers near freezing, and pressure becomes overwhelming. To humans, this environment would mean instant death. Yet life not only survives here, it thrives. Some fish in the midnight zone produce red light that other animals cannot see. They hunt in secrecy, illuminating prey without revealing themselves. Others have skin so dark it absorbs nearly all light, making them appear like moving voids in the darkness. They do not hide in shadows, they become the shadow. One of the most disturbing inhabitants of this zone is the anglerfish. The female carries a glowing lure above her mouth, waving it gently in the dark. Prey, drawn by the light, swims closer, too close. The male anglerfish lives a very different life. He is tiny, fragile, and rare. His only purpose is to find a female. When he does, he bites her and never releases. His body slowly fuses with hers. His organs disappear. He becomes part of her. In this world, survival demands sacrifices that feel almost unimaginable. 4 kilometers below the surface lies the abyssal plain. It covers more than half of Earth's surface, making it the largest habitat on the planet. It is flat, silent, and nearly empty. Food is extremely rare. Life here grows slowly, moves slowly, and conserves every bit of energy it can. Some animals in this region grow to astonishing sizes. Giant isopods crawl across the seabed like armored tanks. Large amphipods scavenge in the darkness. Scientists call this phenomenon deep-sea gigantism, but they still do not fully understand why it occurs. Cold temperatures, slow metabolism, high oxygen levels, and reduced predation may all contribute, but the full answer remains hidden in the depths. When a whale dies and sinks to the ocean floor, it becomes a sudden explosion of life in an otherwise empty world. Scavengers arrive first. Bacteria multiply rapidly. Worms bore into bone. An entire ecosystem forms around death and can last for decades. In the deep ocean, death is not an ending, it is a beginning. Even deeper are the ocean trenches, the Haddle Zone. These trenches plunge nearly 11,000 meters into the Earth's crust. The pressure here is almost unimaginable, and yet life survives. Soft-bodied fish and small invertebrates live here, their cells specially adapted to crushing force. Scientists have even discovered plastic inside these animals, a chilling reminder that human influence reaches even the deepest places on Earth. Near underwater volcanic vents, life survives without sunlight at all. Microorganisms use chemicals from the Earth to create energy. Larger animals depend entirely on them. This discovery changed how scientists think about life, not only on Earth, but across the universe. If life can exist here, it may exist elsewhere. Even today, the deep ocean remains largely unknown. Every expedition reveals new creatures, some glowing, some massive, some almost invisible. The deeper we go, the more questions we uncover. Why do some deep-sea creatures grow enormous while others remain small? Why does light appear again and again in darkness? Why does life continue to surprise us in places where survival should be impossible? These unanswered questions are what give the deep ocean its power. It reminds us that our planet still hides worlds within worlds. And far below the surface, in the darkness where light dies,
those worlds are still waiting.